What is it really? What's going on here? You got the system for total control. Now is there any?
Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and technically this is the very first time that I'm sitting down and watching this movie from beginning to end, all the way through. Because I've seen parts of it here and there on TV, randomly. But I'm talking about Hellboy. Yes, I own the movie, but this is my first time really watching Hellboy. It's a 2004 film that's based on the comic book of the same name. It was written and directed by Guillermo del Toro. And the plot is, at the end of World War II, the Nazis are so desperate that they found this device that they're using to open up a portal to bring out these creatures and anything that they can to help defeat the Allies. But of course, they bring out certain creatures, and one of them is Hellboy. As a baby, Hellboy gets found by this Professor Broom, who takes care of him as his son. And years later, the government is basically using Hellboy. They're keeping him in secret, but they're using him to go out there and find as many creatures as he can, kill them or take them in. And of course, one dude, Rasputin, he's here to fulfill some prophecy, bring hell on earth, and he wants to turn Hellboy into a creature of the night as well. Now, what I thought of Hellboy was, I'll be honest, I didn't love this movie. I didn't. But I didn't hate it either. I actually did enjoy this movie to a point, to an extent. I thought there was a lot more fun to be had with the film than I was initially expecting. Especially at the beginning when I'm sitting there and watching the stuff with the Nazis and seeing the portals and the creatures. I'm thinking to myself, am I going to be able to get into this? Like, I know some people love this movie. I know some people, like, hold it in high regards as one of their favorite superhero movies ever, comic book movies ever. And that's cool, that's fine. But I was a little nervous in the beginning. It wasn't until we met Hellboy himself, Ron Perlman, as this character. Not only is the makeup, the costume, just everything about the way he looks great. Ron Perlman himself, the charisma, the personality, that attitude, he's just cool. There's no other way to describe him. He's a badass at first. He knows what he's good at, killing and going out there and doing what he has to do. But he also is self-aware. He also can make fun of himself or crack jokes or do these things that I was a little surprised by at first. Like, wow, he's really jokey. But it works. It made me chuckle or made me amused, entertained consistently, even if there was any story points where I was like, what? Or stuff with the villains where I was like, huh? Hellboy kept me going. Hellboy made me interested to see what he was going to do next or see what he was going to say next. For example, there's a character named Liz who is played by Selma Blair. They have a history, but she's left that facility. She is trying to control her powers. She has fire ability. She's like the female Human Torch, but she blows things up and does all this stuff. And seeing him get jealous when one of the characters, John Myers, played by Rupert Evans, when he takes her on like a coffee date, and Hellboy, very immature, sure, but it's funny to see how much this affects him, to see her with another guy, and he's following them on rooftops and throwing rocks at the guy and doing all this stuff that I'm like, wow, this is actually kind of funny. One of the other characters, another creature who lives in this facility, his name is Abe Sapien, who technically is played by Doug Jones, but he's voiced by another actor. I don't know why that is the case. It's kind of weird, but still, as far as design goes, as far as the costume and the effects go, he looks great. I was very interested in the character, just as far as being like the side man who can do things that Hellboy can't do and the stuff that he can do underwater. I was very interested in his character. I'm almost interested to learn more about his backstory, In fact, after seeing The Shape of Water, there's a lot of similarities between that creature and the Abe creature here. The professor who took care of Hellboy, John Hurt, plays him, and it was nice because at first I didn't even recognize him. But I'm like, holy crap, that's John Hurt. He's really good in the movie. The special effects, the action. I love the way the movie was shot. It was great use of CGI at the time, 2004. You're going to have moments where it looks choppy, and it does. There are moments where it is a lot of CGI, and I guess in certain aspects you don't know how else you would have accomplished those moments, those action moments, the big, huge octopus creature at the end. There's no other way to do that but other than CGI. But there was also a lot of other moments where it was practical, where it was a dude in a suit and that alien-looking creature things. I guess it's really a demon, but it looks like an alien. Like, those creatures look great because for the most part it was guys in suits. It was practical. And that's what I want to see from a movie like this. My only negative, or my biggest negative about the movie, is the villains. The villains are terrible. They are. It's really disappointing to see this guy, Gregory Rasputin, who I guess is from the underworld, and he wants to bring hell on Earth and turn Hellboy into a bad guy like the prophecy is supposed to be and all this stuff. And I got all of that. I just didn't find him interesting. Not at all. His henchwoman, the blonde, who was just so over the top and overacting and just bad. The only villain character that I did find interesting is the one who didn't talk at all. The one dude in the mask who had the swords, the knives, and was going around killing people viciously, but he never spoke. That character was very interesting. I wish I got more out of him, or even just make him the main villain. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Hellboy? Are you one of these diehard fans who love this movie, who defend it, who say it's one of the best ever? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!